Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be showing you the 2022 Toyota Highlander. This one is the XLE and there are 7 trims you could choose from, but let me go ahead and show you all the features this one has. Under the hood there is a 3.5 naturally aspirated V6. It is connected to an 8-speed automatic transmission. This engine produces 295 horsepower and 263 pound-feet of torque, and the fuel economy numbers on this engine: 20 in the city, 27 highway, and 23 combined. Here is a MSRP sticker of this 22 XLE trim. If you guys are interested in the standard features it has, just go ahead and pause the video. And the price with destination is $44,000. If you guys are curious about the color is called Midnight Black, and it does look good on this XLE trim. As I said, there are 7 trims you could choose from. There is the L, LE, XLE, which is this one, XSE, Bronze Edition, Limited, and Platinum. And the Platinum is the highest trim you could get. Anyways, the price on this one is $44,000, and the Highlander is a 3-row SUV that competes against the Ford Explorer, the Honda Pilot, and the Telluride and Palisade. But anyways, guys, coming to the front looks okay, nothing too crazy, and does have a very simple design to it. And people usually buy Toyotas not for the design, they usually buy them because of their engines. The headlight has an okay look to it, nice and slim. Not everything right here in the headlight housing is LED, so the high and low beam are sitting in a projector tube, and they are LED. And the turn signal indicators right here in the front are halogen. The fog lights in the bottom are LED, which is good. And there is a flat black trim around the fog lights. The grille is finished in gloss black and does have some brushed aluminum trim. And the Toyota badge is the sensor for the Toyota Safety Sense 2.5 Plus. And in the bottom there is some flat black and the bottom grille. And yeah, the design right here in the front looks okay. On the hood there is nice sharp lines, but the design is very simple, and it's not that aggressive. But let's go ahead and move to the side, and I'll show you the side view of this Highlander. Here is a side view of this Toyota Highlander, and honestly the side view looks okay, and nothing too crazy right here on the side, and there is really no aggressive sharp lines right here on the side, and this is expected. This is a family SUV or a 3-row SUV. The fender flares are finished in flat black. And for the rims have an okay look to them. I really wish they looked a little bit better for $44,000. The size is 235/65/18, so there is a ton of rubber, which I like. And yeah, I just love it when companies put a ton of rubber on SUVs like this. I hate it when there's like huge rims like 22 inch rims on SUVs like this. But anyways, the window trims are finished in chrome and flat black. The bottom is finished in chrome, the top is finished in flat black, and on the mirror there is a blind spot monitoring system and a turn signal indicator. There is no 360 cameras in this Highlander. I really wish there was, but I think you have to go for the higher trims to be able to get this feature. On the roof there is a sunroof, and there is roof rails, and they're finished in silver. But let's go ahead and move to the back, and I'll show you the back view of this Highlander. Here is the back of this Highlander, and the back looks okay. Taillights have a nice look to them. Not everything right here in the back is LED, so the running light is LED, but the turn signal indicators and the reverse are halogen. Here is the Highlander badge, finished in chrome, and on the right is the XLE all-wheel drive badge, and the reflectors are very big. And the bottom of the bumper is finished in flat black. Toyota logo is finished in chrome, and here is the wiper. I really wish it was hidden underneath the spoiler. And third brake light is located right there. But the spoiler has a really nice design to it, very aggressive, and a lot of sharp lines on it. But yeah, that's how the back of this Highlander looks like. Here is the key of this SUV. It does look very cheap, and usually Toyota doesn't really do a good job with their keys. And yeah, the key itself feels very light. There is 4 buttons on the key: lock, unlock, tailgate release, and a panic button. And in the back there is the Toyota badge and the Highlander letters written back there. Let's go ahead and open the tailgate. There's 3 ways to open the tailgate. There's one on the key, there is a button right underneath the Toyota logo, and there's one inside. And tailgate opens nice and quick. There is a handle right there and a button to close the tailgate. And inside there's a good amount of space with the third row up, so I like that. And on the right there is nothing. And on the left there is a storage place underneath. It is actually very deep, wow. So I really like that. So nice deep storage place on the left, and underneath there is a storage place with the jack and the jack tools. Here is the jack, by the way, and here are the tools for the jack. And yeah, very good. Let me go ahead and drop the third row down and show you how it looks like, and then I'll drop the second row down and show you how the back of this SUV looks like with all the seats down. Alright, so that's how this SUV looks like with the third row down. So there is actually a good amount of space in the back of this SUV with the third row down. But now let's go ahead and drop the second row down and show you how it looks like with the second row down. Alright, so I dropped all the seats down in this Highlander, and seriously guys, there is a ton of room in the back. And by the way, there is no handles back here to drop the second row down. So I really wish there was some handles right here in the back. To drop the second row down, you have to go all the way to the front and drop them down from there. But yeah, there's a good amount of space in the back of this Highlander. Here is the door handle, and the door handle has a sensor right behind it. That's how you unlock the SUV. And to lock it, there is two lines right here. Those are sensors for locking the SUV. Here is the front door panel, and the front door panel has an okay look to it. This top portion right here is nice and soft. It is that synthetic rubber material. I'm not a big fan of this plastic or flat black trim. And the door handle feels very light, finished in chrome. This whole thing right here is wrapped in leather, nice and soft. Some brushed aluminum, which is nice. All window switches are automatic up and down. The windows, buttons, switches, everything looks okay. And this is plastic. Good amount of storage place in the bottom of this door, and there is a halogen light all the way in the bottom. And here is a speaker. And for the seats are very comfortable, and the design looks okay. And this Highlander has power seats, and the lumbar support is next to the seat controls. But let's go ahead and move inside this Highlander, and I'll show you how it looks like from the inside. Alright, so here is the interior of this 2022 Toyota Highlander. And the XLE trim is the popular trim, so a lot of people are going to go for it. It is basically the best bang for the buck, and yeah, you do get a good amount of features for a good price. But anyways, as I said, the interior looks good, and the seats are very comfortable, and this is expected from Toyota. The windows are nice and big, and the windshield is nice and big, and the seating position is perfect. You could see things very easy. And as you guys heard, this 3.5 V6 sounds very good. The steering wheel is wrapped in leather, which is nice. The ring itself, it's not too thin or too thick. I think it's the perfect size for this SUV. And the design overall, I think, looks good. Right here on the left, there is a few buttons. There is those buttons right here to control that center screen. It is a 7-inch screen. You could go up and down, and in some menus, you could go left and right. And there's a back button, phone control, volume controls, and voice command. The Toyota logo is finished in chrome, and right here on the right is the 2.5 Toyota Safety Sense, 2.5 plus Toyota Safety Sense. And yeah, you have the gab. You could set the gab, and you could turn on and turn off the lane keeping assist, cruise control, and seek buttons and mode. And behind the steering wheel, there is the wiper controls for the front and back. And on the left is the headlight controls with the fog light controls. And for the gauges actually look pretty good. I really like the design, and I really like the brushed aluminum. The font is nice and big, but I'm noticing that the center screen, that 7-inch screen, honestly is very dim. I really wish that I could adjust the brightness. So the brightness is actually all the way up, but the screen is very dim, and it has a good amount of glare. But again, the sun is shining on it, so maybe that's why. Anyways, this material right here is very soft, so good job Toyota. This right here is plastic. It does feel a little bit cheap, but this top portion, or the dash, the whole dash, is very soft. It is that synthetic rubber material, but it's extremely soft, which I love. I really like the brushed aluminum. And right here there is the brightness control and trip reset. This right here is nice and soft, and it is wrapped in leather. I really like the stitching. And down here there is the automatic high beam tailgate release, and there is a storage place right here to put coins or things like that. And here is a screen. It's an 8-inch screen. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and the screen looks okay. Toyota screens are usually too big and too bulky. I'm not a big fan of them. As you guys see, there is a ton of bezels around the screen, and yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. As I said, it is an 8-inch screen. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. There is some hard binds on the right and left, and there is a volume knob, tune knob, and here is the backup camera. Backup camera resolution is okay. It is nice and wide though. And down here, the climate controls are easy to use. There is heated seats, 3 stages, off button for the climate, and you'll have the windshield heater, or the heated windshield. There is an auto function. This Highlander has tri-climate control, which is nice. And here is the fan speed modes. You could adjust the temperature for the rear, and then you'll have the dual climate control here in the front, so you could move this down and up, and you could unsync it if you want to. So you could just click on this button right here and it will unsync. So you could have this at 79 and have the driver at 83. The air vents look good, finished in gloss black. Here is the engine start stop, and it does have some chrome around it. And down here there is a storage place. There is another storage place right there. And by the way, there is this brushed aluminum trim. I think it does look good. And by the way, this trim right here is plastic. Of course it is plastic since it is a trim, but it is finished in gray, and the color looks good. I think Toyota could have done a little bit better job with that trim, but I'm glad that it's not just flat black. So I'm happy that it does it has like a different color than the black leather. And down here there is 2 USB-Cs, 1 USB type A, and a 12 volt. And in the bottom there is a little bit of storage place. And by the way, this whole thing right here is wrapped in leather. It is nice and soft, and I really like the stitching. And here is the shifter that will control the 8-speed automatic transmission. It does have plus and minus, so you could shift and upshift and downshift, but there is no paddle shifters right behind the steering wheel. And there is 2 cup holders, nice and deep, some chrome trim around them. And this whole center console is finished in flat black. There is some chrome, silver trim on the side, and right here there is a good amount of buttons. There is the drive modes, so you'll have Sport, Normal, and Eco. Sport, Normal, Eco. And there is mud, sand, rock, dirt, and I'm not sure what is this. Let's see, what's this? Nothing is changing. Maybe this is normal, maybe going back to normal. But anyways, here is the e-brake, brake hold, hill descent, engine shut off, snow, and traction control. And the armrest does have some softness to it, but it's kind of hard. Inside there is a wireless phone charger. Here is the button to turn it off and on, and if you lift it up, there is a ton of space, and there is a tray inside, and there is a 12 volt inside of this storage place. And yeah, I really like the way how it closes and the way how it opens. Very nice. And up here, the rear view mirror is almost frameless. It does have a really nice design to it. It is nice and big. The bezels are very nice and thin. Garage controls underneath, and here is the auto dimming button, the green one. And up here there is the glasses holder, and by the way, it does have a mirror to be able to see the kids or the people in the back. And this Highlander has halogen lights for 44,000. I really wish it did have LED lights. This switch is to control the lights. SOS, another button to turn on the other light. And here is the switch that will open the standard size sunroof. And the other button next to it right here is to tilt it. And it is one touch, which is nice. And the visor is it's very soft, so I like that. And yeah, it does feel nice and solid. And there is a mirror, good size mirror, and a very bright halogen light. Here is a back door panel. The back door panel has an okay look to it. This top portion right here is plastic, and there is a privacy screen in the back. And here is the door handle. Feels a little bit on the lighter side and kind of like cheap. This whole thing right here is nice and padded, soft. This is plastic. I really wish that Toyota did a better job with this trim. Here is the window switch. As I said, all windows are automatic up and down. This is soft. This right here is plastic, and it does feel very cheap. In the bottom, there's a good amount of storage place and a speaker in the bottom. And for the second row, the seats are nice and comfortable, and there's a good amount of leg room, and headroom is good. And up there is halogen lights, air vents, and there is a handle to drop the seat to the front, or to move it to the front, and this handle will do the same. This right here will actually drop the back of the seat all the way down to make it flat, and this one will move the seat to the front and back. And inside there's a storage place with 2 cup holders, and back here there is the climate controls. And as I mentioned, this Highlander has tri-climate control. There is the offline, fan speed, modes, auto, and the temperature all the way to the right. There is some USBs in the bottom, USB-Cs in the bottom, and that's how the front of this Highlander looks like. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of this 2022 Toyota Highlander. I would like to thank Tim and Wow Toyota here in Wallingford, Connecticut for providing me this Highlander. If you guys are around and if you guys are interested, make sure to come and check them out. I'm going to go ahead and put the information and link in the bottom of this video. And if you guys would like to see more videos like this, please subscribe, and as always, I'll see you next time.